Good morning to all my fellow Americans here once again to inform on what's happening. I was just listening a couple of seconds ago, Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is just hilarious. I mean, the man, he's not only a great president, he's just a real showman. I mean, that guy makes you laugh. Talking about, let me see how they call him, Joe Biden, talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden is just a piece of art, a piece of art. He was saying, let me send a salute first. I just can't stop laughing thinking about Donald Trump speaking about Joe Biden. I want to send a salute to all fellow American veterans of the DAV and veterans of all organizations. God bless you all. And never forget those who has made the ultimate sacrifice in order to keep our country free, which now the so-called official Communist Party, which still call themselves the Democrat Party, Communist and Terrorist Party, because they got Muslims in their party wanting to destroy not only the United States, but Israel, the birthplace of Jesus Christ. Another thing, the state of Florida, don't forget to vote for Maria Elvira Salazar for Congress. She's going to put a stop to these evil entities that want to destroy us in Congress. She's going to put a stop to that. She's a true patriot. She loves our country. She loves Donald Trump. She's a true conservative and loves freedom. Another thing, if you're going to boycott in 2020 now, don't forget to boycott the Democrats, not Goya products. Goya are the best products. As a matter of fact, I bought a whole bunch of them today. They're the best products. And first of all, not only that they're great products, it's because they created the products. It's a true conservative who loves this country and wants to help us keep it free. Man loves our president, and it's a true conservative. So buy Goya products. If it's Goya, they have to be good, and believe me, they are. And another thing, Donald Trump, just like we did with Venezuela, let's do it with Cuba, who has been under communism for over 61 years. Just like we did, we replaced Maduro, we replaced him for Juan Guaido, and we froze the accounts of the communists and passed it on to Juan Guaido. Let's do the same thing in Cuba. Cuba has been under this nightmarish system, which has destroyed the island for over 61 years. It's time to put a stop to that. And let's recognize UNPACO as a legitimate opposition. And the president of that, the leader of that organization, Jose Daniel Ferrer Garcia, let's name him president of the Republic of Cuba. So we can start off. Freeze the accounts of the communists and pass it on to him. This guy loves his country, wants it free, and wants Cuba prosperous. After it's free, later on we can say, hey, now we're requesting free elections. Without communism, and without any terrorist movement, without Islam, and without a far right, like National Socialism, none of that stuff. None of that. They don't have the right to participate. I don't care what the Constitution says. I believe we should protect that Constitution, and by protecting it, we shouldn't give the people who wants to destroy it the right to participate in our elections. That should be obvious, and that should be stopped instantly. Okay, let me go with a video. This video is great. I want the people of the island of Puerto Rico, where I live at, with my wife. I was born in the United States. I'm not Cuban. I'm the son. I'm a descendant of parents, both of them born in Puerto Rico. I was born in New York. I'm a veteran. I served in the United States Navy, and also a time in the United States Marines. So, believe me, I don't have one ink of a piece of hair of mine as Cuban. But I defend Cuban. I love the people of Cuba, and I want it free. I've seen the disaster. I've seen the plight, their suffering. And I want Cuba free now. I want you to hear what this guy got to say so you can wake up and realize what the Democrat Party has turned into, and why this man who fled Cuba can teach us a lot about. So I'm going to put him on right now and let him speak. This is from PBS NewsHour.
is the past from the present, from the future.
This man fled with his family, with his parents, communist Cuba.
My family has fled totalitarianism and communism more than once. First my dad from Spain, then from Cuba. But my families don't run away. By the grace of God, I live the American dream. The greatest blessing I ever had. My dad, who only had a sixth grade education, told me, don't lose this place. You'll never be as lucky as me. I'm speaking to you today because my families don't abandon it where we rightfully earned. There's no place to hide. I'm speaking to you today because President Trump may not always be politically correct. He's in fact a successful businessman, not your average career politician. Our president is just another family man, a friend, and most important, our elected commander-in-chief who puts America first. Keep in mind, the other guy running for president is mostly concerned about power. Yes, power for them, but not for the benefit of all Americans. I'm speaking to you today because I have seen people like this before. I've seen movements like this before. I've seen ideas like this before. And I am able to tell you, we cannot let them take over our country. I heard the promises of Fidel Castro, and I can never forget all those who grew up around me, who looked like me, who suffered, starved, and died because they believed those empty promises. They swallowed the communist poison pill. If you have a chance, go to the Freedom Tower in Miami. Stop and listen. You can still hear the sounds of those broken promises. It is the sound of waves in the ocean carrying families in families with children who can't swim, but willing to risk everything to reach this blessed land. It is the sound of tears hitting the paper of an application to become an American citizen. Most heard and liked the promises, but soon after, they experienced the reality. Look at them. Listen to them. Learn the truth. Those false promises spread the wealth, free education, free health care, defund the police, trust a socialist state more than your family and your community. They don't sound radical to my ears. They sound familiar. Fidel Castro was asked if he was a communist. He said he was a Roman Catholic. He knew he had to hide the truth. But the country I was born in is gone, totally destroyed. When I watch the news in Seattle, Chicago, Portland, and other cities, when I see the history being rewritten, when I hear the promises, I've heard echoes of the former life I never wanted to hear again. I see shadows I thought I had outrun. My parents only wanted one person to decide my fate, me. American. This is the greatest country in the world. And I said this before. If I gave away everything that I have today, it would not equal 1% of what I was given when I came to this great country of ours. The gift of freedom. Right now, it is up to us to decide our fate and to choose freedom over oppression. President Trump is fighting the forces of anarchy and communism. And I know he will continue to do just that. And what about his opponent and the rest of its easy swamp? I have no doubt they will hand the country over to those dangerous forces. You and I will decide. And here's what I've decided. My decision is very easy. I choose President Trump because I choose America. I choose freedom. If I still hear my dad, there is no other place to go. Thank you, and may the good Lord bless America.
I had to control myself because unfortunately I'm a very sentimental person, and I break down pretty easily when I see these things that are very emotional. But I just wanted my people to see, hear from themselves, study. That's why we should study history, not destroy it like the communists are doing. That's what they want us to do. They want to erase it out of our minds, history, because they know that's a mechanism, a dangerous mechanism, which will wake the minds of all of us against tyranny. So that's why putting down the statues is not the right thing to do. The contrary is to respect it so that we can say, wow, we don't want that to happen again. Okay? So wake up and learn how to choose and study. Wake up. Because the worst thing that we have is we're not studying. We let ourselves believe things from what we hear, what we want to hear, and not the truth. What we have to do is hear the truth. Let's learn from the Cubans. They have suffered enough. And let's help them to make their country free again. I'm going to leave with this one video here. Let me see if I can find it right away. Trump condemns absence of one nation under God. That's another thing they're doing. Now the Pledge of Allegiance is without including God. I want you to hear this. Listen to this one. So you can see what kind of people they are. In their conference, they didn't have the flag, the United States flags. they are discarding God from our Pledge of Allegiance. That has a lot to say what kind of people we're dealing with. Be very careful. The communists are anti-God, anti-Israel, anti-democracy, anti-constitution, and anti-life. They're in favor of abortion. Another thing. So I'll leave him with this last one. Donald Trump, I always pray for you and your family. God bless you. And Mike Pence. And I always pray that God protect you, both of you and your family. And I stand with God and Israel eternally. And may God bless our country eternally. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Mainstream media's so-called fact-checkers were busy this week responding to accusations over what should be a simple fact. Did the Democrats remove under God from the Pledge of Allegiance? President Trump weighing in earlier this this morning. White House correspondent Jen Pellegrino has more. Removing God from the Pledge of Allegiance. President Trump highlighted the absence of the phrase "under God" in the virtual broadcast of the Democratic National Convention. But did that really happen? Fact checkers were quick to call fake news on President Trump, who fired back Friday morning with a video of DNC moderator A.J. Durrani for Americans to decide for themselves.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you missed the omission in that clip, perhaps the notable silence from this DNC LGBT caucus meeting will clear any doubt.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Associated Press, PolitiFact, and left-leaning fact-check website Snopes all concluded that President Trump's statement was false because the phrase "under God" was included during the DNC's opening each night. The DNC did not respond to the president's tweet. Radical leftists have been gradually pushing for years to cancel and rewrite the history, foundations, and traditions of America, according to James Robbins, who penned the book Erasing America. He says that every move that goes unchallenged is one more step towards their broader end goal.
And their end goal is to destroy our concept of the past, the traditional American narrative of a country of freedom, of progress, liberty, economic opportunity, and other types of opportunities, to destroy all that. And in order to do that, to reshape the future. They want a clean slate, because if you define everything in the past in negative terms, then they can say we have to get rid of all that and move on to a new future of progressivism, socialism, and whatever else they have in store.
President Trump, largely supported by evangelical Christians, tweeted a warning to the Christian community that erasing God from the Pledge of Allegiance was not a mistake, and to remember what is at stake when they vote on November 3rd. Jen Pellegrino, One American News.